Welcome back to First Step Gun Essentials. We're out here at Shooter's World, and today we've got an interesting topic. Today we're going to be talking about non-lethals. You'll want to stick around. Alright, so we got a lot to dive into, and we're going to be talking about a range of options. Everything from something that fires actual projectiles like these little pepper balls, like this Byrna pistol device, and tasers, all the way to some handheld, smaller, more easily concealable type options. So for starters, when you're talking non-lethals, the sky's the limit. You've got prices ranging from a few dollars all the way up to a few $100s. So if your budget's a concern, you can look at maybe some of the more affordable options, but you've got a wide range of options as far as non-lethals go. As far as practicality goes, non-lethals are a great option if you're looking for something to take with you everywhere that you're not necessarily concerned about leaving in your purse or your glove compartment. You're going to have to take additional concerns if you do have a firearm, and additionally there's places that you can or cannot take a firearm with you. So non-lethals I think are a great option. Some of you might be looking for non-lethals because you really like the idea of a non-lethal, but I want to kind of caution that because even though I carry a Glock 43X on me, I don't view it as an intentionally lethal tool. I view it as a self-defense option and that may have lethal consequences. And the reality is that because I have 15 rounds in it, it gives me a wide range of both threats that I can face as well as distance. Some of these options you have to be close quarters. So although most people don't like the idea of carrying a lethal option on them, don't just be caught up in the idea that you just want specifically a non-lethal. Some of these can be lethal if used in a certain way. So we've talked a little bit about price. We've got a range. Like I said, some pepper spray options goes from like $10 all the way to $50 or $100, and then we've got some other high-tech options that we're going to talk about today. But we really wanted to kind of cover that right off the bat. My biggest concern with non-lethals versus, let's say, a concealed carry handgun has always been range. So one of the cool innovations with this Byrna device is that it fires these little pepper balls and it operates very similar to a handgun. It's got an advertised range of about 60 feet, so you can actually shoot this and you've got multiple cartridges. So I really like this as an option because now I have the ability to give myself some distance, and I could potentially, if I have multiple aggressors, use something like this. This is a little bit pricier of an option, but you're getting some additional benefits. You're getting these non-lethal pepper spray balls, and you're also getting the option to have multiple shots. This is, I think, a pretty cool, innovative option. It's got these little magazine cartridges. This is the priciest option we have out here, but if you're looking for a non-lethal that's going to give you some of the benefits that you might get with maybe like a handgun, again, it's not going to be as effective in my opinion, but you have that as an option as well. All the way down to, I won't say that pepper spray and some of these other options aren't projectiles, but again, you're still very close proximity, and with pepper spray you want to be mindful of, let's say, being indoors or in a vehicle, because when you spray that, it's going to kind of get into the air and go everywhere. So you want to be prepared for that. But those are your cheaper options. As far as, let's say, like tasers go, they have some that you can fire. This one from Pulse allows you to actually shoot we've got these little cartridges that you load, and they'll actually shoot out. So again, you're getting some distance, but realistically 15 feet is pretty close proximity, and you're not going to get the benefit of having a lot of follow-on shots. So this is a pretty cool option, and this is something small and portable and compact that you can take with you. But then there's other taser options where you have something like this strike light, which is a flashlight, but you can also use it as a self-defense tool, and it's a taser itself. Again, if you're using this as a taser, you're in close proximity. It's definitely a good option. The drawback that I have seen with tasers is I've had tasers years ago, and you got to keep those batteries charged, and I would forget about them, and I'd leave them in the glove box for a while, and then by the time I check them, the battery would be dead. So you are going to want to be mindful of keeping that battery charged, keeping it serviceable. but you do have a self-defense tool in a pinch that is quite effective. If you've never been tased before, it's not a very pleasant experience. So there's a whole ton of options for that. Now that we've talked about kind of some whether that's tasers or pepper spray projectile type options, let's talk about maybe some even more upfront, more practical type things for you. Knives, you know, I don't know if I'd categorize this as a non-lethal. A knife can definitely be lethal, but in terms of it not being a firearm, it's something you can take with you. If you keep in mind that if you have a large knife, you may have to look into whether or not some states require that as a concealed carry. There's different size limitations, but a knife is an easy compact tool that you can use for everyday use, and it's a great self-defense option. As far as self-defense specifically, there are tons of products on the market like this little strike keychain. You know, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of these, and in a pinch, you could use that for self-defense. And there's these other cool options. This one's from G10 Customs, and it looks like just a regular Sharpie, and it's a local company that makes these. But when you open up the cap here, it's got a very pointy, solid end that is meant to be a self-defense tool. So it's a very discreet option. I thought it was really cool when I saw it. So it looks just like a regular Sharpie. Don't mix that up with your other Sharpies because it won't work that way. But you do have other options that are actual pens. This one's from Benchmade, where you actually have a pen that can also be used in the same way. So, but the drawback to these is obviously that, again, you're dealing with a last-ditch self-defense, close quarters type scenario where you're definitely in a very bad situation if you're having to use your hands and these other smaller tools. So we wanted to do a quick video talking about some of the non-lethal options out there. In my personal opinion, I would still trust my concealed carry pistol first, but I also see the value in having different options available for different situations, especially for those of you who are looking for non-lethal options. So I hope I've given you some things to think about. If you have any questions or thoughts, let me know in the comments below. You can always reach out to us at support@firststepgunessentials.com. You can support the channel by picking up some FSGE gear at our website, maybe checking out one of our essentials kits and hitting the range. But let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time out at the range.